Carrington. Unwinding from a hard day's work, I presume?
You presume correctly. And constantly, I'd calculate. Do you ever stop presuming, Paige, and calculating?
Well, a girl has got to stay on top of things, you know, Elliot. After all, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. I try to keep mine busy devising ways to help my fellow men.
And that's why you've taken it upon yourself to help my son.
Your son? Oh, of course. You must mean Dennis. Oh, yes. No, I feel a real closeness for him, Elliot. Dennis has a special potential. I consider it my mission to tap it, to help him make use of all his resources, as it were.
How comforting to know you've taken an interest in him.
Oh, no need to thank me, Elliot. I know you're very attached to Dennis and want only the best for him. You know, Elliot, men can be so cold and distant from one another. It's very touching to see two men like you and Dennis relating as friends.
As father and son.
Oh, of course. You're a man of the world and a very accomplished fellow. I'm sure that Dennis will always look up to you as a sort of father figure.
As his father.
I know exactly what you mean, Elliot. You're talking about that feeling that occurs when you get so close to someone that you feel you must surely be related to them by blood, even when you're not. I felt that for a few very special people whose paths I've crossed. Well, for example, Alex Wheeler, my boss. I presume you've met.
We've already established that you presume correctly, Paige.
Well, at any rate, Alex is a very strong father figure in my life. Even though he is my father, of course. Too bad he isn't. What a dandy daddy he'd make. Talk about resources. Why, his daughter or son would never go wanting for anything, Elliot. And Alex is so kind and good-natured. Well, just like Dennis, actually. Strange. Now that I think about it, Dennis reminds me a lot of Alex. In many ways. Oh, but Elliot, I digress.
I doubt that, Paige. You're never very far from the point.
Well, be that as it may, I don't want to keep you. I presume you're in something of a hurry to leave our fair city, all things considered.
You presume incorrectly this time, which may be a first for you. I have considered all things, down to the last detail. That's why I won't be leaving. In fact, that's why I'm here at this very moment.
Well, Alex. Oh, how very good to see you. Well, I'm sure you two have lots to talk about. So, will you excuse me?
Mm-hmm. I've spoken with Iris.
Isn't it customary for a betrothed couple to be in rather close communication?
Dennis has decided to separate completely from his mother, if you are persuaded to leave town. I figured you helped him arrive at that decision.
My son needed no help, Wheeler. I only relayed the gist of my last conversation with you. His decision was his own choice. A decision from the heart.
You leveled with him about the Cambodian incident?
The gist, Wheeler. Just the gist, not the gory details. The incident, as you so discreetly phrase it, is not a matter of record. It's your speculation, your fantasy, your wish, perhaps.
It hit a nerve, Carrington. No fantasy can do that. Only something very real. Now, I told you I would understand exactly what really happened when you escaped from that...
From hell, Wheeler? You may well end up in hell when your time comes, but you haven't been there yet. I have. You come back and talk to me about understanding it when you've been there and lived to remember it.
Most of us have visited hell in one form or another, Carrington. I've been there in the past, but I plan a very different life for Iris and me and for Dennis. And I mean to have it. At any rate, Iris has asked me to give you some more time to pull your life together before you leave Houston. I've agreed.
How kind. Two saints. Now I truly understand what is meant by a match made in heaven.
You have until we return from our wedding trip. At least a month.
Very well.
I expect you'll be gone by then.
A month? Certainly. It won't even take that long.
Good.
It'll be sooner than you think. Much, much sooner than you think.